I'm so excited to launch my brand new book, Astrology Realized, Your Journey to Understanding Astrology. Buy it now on Amazon.com. Hello, fabulous Libra. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2013. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. When I looked at the sky for you, I had this interesting thought about how we as people, we have these various identities, right? And we have this different understanding of context and where we are. And so in the most expansive sense of the word, we can think about the world, right? Or the universe, but just like it becomes very big and who we are in a very big way when we are interacting with whatever it is that we consider big and grand and out there. And then we have a more private self. All of us do, and it is necessary, right? That place where you feel like you can be yourself. And it is a place usually associated with home, associated with privacy, associated with what's going on in your own heart, in your own mind, and also what happens when you close the doors, when you're in your own fortress of solitude. There's a very public face that you are developing and that you are encouraged to really put out there in some way. And this very public face, and it seems like you have some mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, you really like who you are and what is coming forward. And on the other hand, you may be disowning it in some way and saying, well, that's not really me. And I would encourage you to challenge that, because what I am seeing, and especially in the first part of the month, is that attributes come forward. Like you are in the midst of people, very different people, and in some way they represent a larger audience than you are used to, and a very different audience than you are used to. So these could be people who are very different backgrounds, whether that's culturally or philosophically, or these are people who are just very new to you and have very differing worldviews. But in some way you're stepping out bigger, and you're showing an aspect of yourself that some might call bigger as well. And you're not sure how you feel about it. But I would say to you that I think you're going to see some qualities about yourself that you like, that actually warm your heart and surprise you, that make you say, wow, I didn't know that was in me. I didn't know I could shine like that. And that's really the key. There is a part of you, and I think all of us, once we find that sweet spot, we know where we shine. And it takes self-knowledge, it takes patience, it takes time to really cultivate it, to trust it, to sit in it. You know, it's a sort of a form of power, if you will, a form of our own power, and to really own it, really to own it. And what I'm seeing is that you are in that process. Are you going to own this part of yourself or are you not? If you do, and if you trust what does come forward, and I see you saying to yourself, wow, I didn't know I could do that, be that, think that way, share that way. If you can own it, then you're going to find yourself moving towards that direction of that sweet spot that I spoke of, moving in that direction of understanding that, yes, there is something here that you have to share that is very special, and it is a part of you. It is not an act. And you don't have to distance yourself from it by saying that it's an act. There's something within you that you enjoy actually bringing forward. And what's coming up just a little bit down the road, and I'll talk about it next month, but when I think about how there are so many career blessings just kind of waiting in the wing for you right now, and it's about you this month setting yourself up nicely so that you can start to take advantage of those opportunities that find you then. And the way that you set yourself up nicely now is by accepting that there are certain talents that maybe you didn't acknowledge, and some of those talents have to do with personality traits or delivery or sharing, and that you can accept it and own it and refine it and present it in a way that you feel comfortable with. The other part of this equation that I gave you had to do with home, and this really has to do with being comfortable in your own skin. This has to do with self-acceptance, with being at peace within yourself by being safe and feeling a sense of security within your own heart and within your own skin. Now, for some people, that is the work of a lifetime. I know, and it doesn't always come very easy to some people. It's harder than it is for others, but having said that, that is going to be the place from which you find the greatest power. And that is going to be a huge lesson for you coming up towards the end of the month. And it's very necessary. You need to have that sense of self-acceptance and a sense of self-possession if you are going to go for the opportunities that are going to find you a little bit later, starting next month and into the rest of the year. If you're going to take full advantage of them, you have to take advantage of this time now of really setting yourself up to ask yourself those tough questions. And the questions are tough, in all honesty. And I am seeing you look at yourself and look at the ways that maybe you've been overly critical, the way that you have disowned parts of yourself that really are part of who you are, a part of your strength. And I do see that at least one person who cares about you very much is going to challenge you. Is going to be asking you some tough questions, someone you have a very long history with. Now, how they do it, it can really vary. Some will approach you. Some Libras will experience this as someone who loves them and approaches them very tenderly. Others will get a bit of a shock, but this is a person who loves you. This is a person who has a history with you as well. Likely someone in your family or someone you've known way back going into your childhood. But this is very needed. You need to be asked these questions, and you need to be confronted about the ways that maybe you're using self-criticism to hold yourself back because it's scary to actually take a bigger chance. And that's the thing. Some of the chances that are coming up are really big. They're bigger than anything that you've had before. And the universe really wants you to get anything that's in the way out of the way. People are part of the process, but also you. Your reflection, your ability to be honest with yourself, and your ability to take in other points of view. All of that plays a part. If you can do your work now to be comfortable with you now as you are in your perfection in this moment and in the highest, most loving vision of yourself in this moment that you are right now, if you can do that or at least work in that general direction, then you'll find opportunity, the type you've only dreamed of and hoped for, becomes much more available to you because it's you that becomes more receptive to them. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.